we'll see Jared Goff and the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, I hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Faking the give, now Watson. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
We want it. Come to my world.
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Here comes the ball.
And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea where they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough Texans start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Check 52.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Looking deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Out of the gun, Watson. He'll buy some time right and avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Clay Matthews is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
While in college, quarterback teams that improved their win total from 1 his freshman year to 5 his sophomore year to 8 his junior year. Love that type of improvement. Love that type of diligence.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Out of the gun, Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. 17 yards on the pickup, and it'll give him a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Goff. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. That'll bring up 2nd down. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
And I think the entire league benefited when Andrew Whitworth made the decision to come back for his 13th NFL season. Still one of the best offensive tackles in the game. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 times first-team All-Pro. He's now 10th among active players in the NFL in games started.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To the air again, Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, Goff. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And now out comes Houston. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 11. After the interception, here's Watson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Watson throwing on 3rd and long. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off of play action, it's Watson. Steps away. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the 34-yard line.
19. Man, I got you. Man.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a power isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. Throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it. It helps have the big gun. In this case, a bit too much.
After an incomplete pass, 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He's going to look deep down the field, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
So now then, the ball all the way inside now for 10. Leg. Watson out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs to contain him. That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Growing theme in this is second long. Caught Lepkins. And he'll lose yardage. Brought 32. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was terrible defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now a former kicker at nearby UCLA, Kaimi Fairbairn, for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn, was 37-42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 on the board. About Garrett Bryan, the head coach, is thinking to himself, I'm a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Goff holds up here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Try to shift the interception. He'll look to. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Quickly executed crossing route.
Here goes tonight. 180.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. A seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. And as a defensive end, get ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what.
Yeah, and that's really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando afterward, but business before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, Rams.
Goff on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defending with the football. That led to the sack.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there. Guys, football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now the question, what do you do here? Time, not really an issue. You got over. You figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
There's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up in the end zone. Ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football if indeed that's the plan of attack.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. Now the Texans will burn the first of their touchdowns as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
On first down, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock stops. 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. On 3rd down, Miller. Get an opening.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 34 yards there and a first down. Well, they call a run on 3rd and a mile. Not only do they convert, but they tack on some yards at the end of it, too.
They went against what anyone would think would be a tendency, which is you're going to throw the ball on 3rd and a mile, right? But instead they decide to run the football because sometimes what you get is the defense is playing a little bit lighter. A lot of extra defensive backs, and they're loosened up for the pass. They found some running room and really converted.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down, it's Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The great veteran Clay Matthews able to knock that one away in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. He's going to have the hook up to QT. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field, and he's had some on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'll follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. And he's going to put up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brandon Dunn able to get him for a loss of about 3.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's got Higbee complete right side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Johnny Hacker now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and his Texans offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Watson will bring up the tier 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw is Watson. They've got his man complete. And they nearly get to midfield out at the 49. They got 29 yards that time.
It's a game ups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
One play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
From the gun, here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Go lollipop in the middle of the field. Bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Here's Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And they work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
Watson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The rookie from Washington, Taylor Rapp, there to knock that away. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball. All you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Not that, although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at time.
The Texans on 3rd. They've been near 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's Watson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll toss one in for a Texans touchdown. 15-yard touchdown. And the Texans will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you pull away and let some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe the first spin, it looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure is working, and call more of that.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
Now Goff. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And he'll get it out near the 49. That's good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, here's Goff. This is caught, it's Cooks. And he gets this one to midfield. He's brought down. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1, not the case.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, a little bit more precise throwing it, you don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Flag 20.
Touchdown, defense.
Good.
Mike 41. Check pass.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
It's not something that we see every game now. Todd Gurley held below 50 yards, and we are in the 4th quarter. A lot of credit. They've done a nice job of bottling him up.
They absolutely have. And a lot of times he can still find holes, but there haven't been the holes there. The offensive line hasn't created much space. Throwing on 2nd down. Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and aim out that way.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Goff, throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Here we go. Here we go.
A gain of 21 yards.
Nice game, partner, but you and I both know that anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Goff now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. A great move. Only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
41's coming. 41's the mark.
Goal.
Give me some.
Toward the pylon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The offense down tonight. They've converted 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Back to throw, Goff. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Texans defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, you determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And down should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Let him go. 26 Mike. Double dog. Double dog. That's the way. Check 3. Check 3. Let him go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar. He's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. He's there swarming to it and not allowing that to happen. Did not let him get downfield.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
I got you.
Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Everyone got 4 down.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for Miles Davis and all our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.